And good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning, depending upon where you are around the world. I am Marcus Holmes, the love activist, and I am excited to be here with you on another episode of Love and Stuff. So please click share whether you are with us from our springboard tonight, which is the Love and Stuff community page. Shouts out to all of you that are in the Love and Stuff community. Or if you are with us on the Marcus R. Holmes page here on Facebook, or with us via Restream on YouTube events and Twitch TV, click share, tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, Twitch TV or YouTube followers, 5 of your more popular ones to join us in tonight's discussion. Many of our topics come from the inbox, and I will share with you a little bit of the treat how this is a very interesting topic, especially to me and for me. but I wanted to bring this topic forward. And if you have topic ideas, feel free to drop them in the Love and Stuff inbox. We'd love to broach your topic where you can come live with me here on Love and Stuff, or you can remain anonymous and we will discuss your topic in the hopes of providing perspective, because we're all on a path to up our love game. And I don't know about you, I believe the world needs more love. And so someone said, hey, is life always filled with roses for you and all just happy, joy? No, I choose to post about love. I choose to post about positive things. There is a lot of negative things that happen in the background. If you're like me and you're living, any negative thing could happen in the background. Negative things on the job, negative things in church, negative things in relationship, negative things in family. But I choose to focus and give my energy and measure the amount of love that is in the world and that I can add to the world. I need love and I need to add more love to the world. And so that's where my focus is, on Love and Stuff. And it's not just the focus of the love of an individual man and woman. For those of you that don't believe man and man, I understand that. Woman and woman, two people in a loving relationship, consensual relationship, whether it is your love for your children, your love for your parents, your love for your siblings, your love for your friends. We can all increase the amount of love in the world through our relationships, first in our world, and then in the world, the larger world in context, right? And that love emanates from God. He is love. I want to make sure that I'm clear with you. It's not a religious podcast or broadcast, but I'm a man of faith. And so it is love from him, and then love to him from yourself with all that you have, loving yourself and then others. And so that's what the Love and Stuff community is all about. And I'm thankful that you've joined us for another episode. We bring topics straight from the inbox, and sometimes they are, some would say, salacious. And sometimes they're just topics to make you think about what you are doing or saying and how you might increase the amount of love first in your world and then in the larger world context. And so we talk about all kinds of topics. That's why it's called Love and Stuff. And we hope that you will click share and tag someone to join us. While you're clicking share and tagging folks to join us, because we need folks on all platforms. Thank you so much for those of you that are joining on Twitch TV. Thank you so much. If you don't drop in the comment, I can't acknowledge you. And I love to acknowledge everybody because your presence means so much to me. The Gratefulness Journey Every Day is a book that we have authored, and it is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. What are you doing in the next 30 days to transform your life? It is a chronicle of sorts of some of the experiences that I've had and that have helped, 3 practices that have helped me lead a more grateful life. And I challenge you to get it and tell me in 30 days whether or not you transform your life. All right, so that's available. And I see a few folks have joined us: Mike Flanoyle, Monique Tipton, James Edwards, Christina Smith. All of you, thank you so much. And I hope you will click share and tag someone to join us. All right, so I pinned the topic, and I wanted you to know that this mail order concept, of course, is not new. Was very, as I have read and understood it, mail order brides were popularized originally in the 20th century. But in the 21st century, they've almost become an online phenomenon. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know there is such a thing as a mail order groom, though it's not our focus tonight, but we want to find out more information about that. And so many people have done online dating, signed up for online dating. As you know, we did a series of shows around it, and we had some great people like Rashida the Glam Doctor to come on and tell us about her online dating experiences. And so we've had several people come on and tell us about online dating, but we really didn't focus in on an interesting demographic, which is those of you that might be over 55. You are one of the fastest growing groups of online dating, or people that say that they are seeking companionship and are trying their hand online. And interestingly enough, those that move from online into marriage, especially this mail order bride, the divorce rate is almost the same as people who just traditionally meet. Mail order brides have about a 40% divorce rate. And so we're talking about mostly older gentlemen who are looking for younger women, foreign women from various areas, particularly Southeast Asia, but also Latin America is becoming more and more popular. And so these marriages that are mail order marriages, though, there's an international agency that kind of regulates mail order dating and doesn't really want to call it that, more like an online dating, but it really is getting people for the purpose of marriage, dating, and companionship, that those marriages have a 60% chance of making it. And so from the inbox, we're talking, thank you, click share, tag someone to join us. I appreciate that. I wanted to share just a little bit more of information, if I can share just a bit more. The International Marriage Broker Regulations Act envisages strict rules for men who want to search for brides abroad. Mail order brides, when entering the United States, are protected by the Violence Against Women Act, the VAWA. And so it is something that is still happening. It is happening today. Mail order brides work with international marriage agencies, okay? And it's a business that seeks to introduce men and women from different countries for the purpose of marriage, visits, or correspondence. And the happy marriage rate is very similar statistically to all other marriages, which I think is very interesting. So on to our topic from our inbox. My dad is a recent widower from his second marriage. So he's been married twice. My mom, his first wife, passed away after 25 years of marriage, and he remarried within 2 years after that. Okay. He is entering his 60s, and he wants companionship, which I totally understand. He's a good-looking guy and keeps up with the times. So I thought it was cute that he was trying online dating. Little did I know he is connecting with foreign women through this mail order type dating agency. He showed me a picture of this Chinese woman, she says. I'm freaking out. This can't be good, right? So this daughter is concerned. Her dad is 60-ish, and he has decided to try his hand at a mail order bride service. He signed up for a number of dating services online. And one of the dating services he found is connected to what they call an international marriage agency that kind of specializes in mail order brides. In some countries, that's not legal. In the United States, you can get a fiance type visa and bring someone here. And so he's begun to share pictures as people who do our online and talking, filled out the psychological questionnaire, she says, and he's starting to get pictures and hits. And there's one Chinese woman, she says, a girl she refers to her as, because she's very young, that has caught his attention. So I want to hear from you. What would you do if your dad or your mom, because again, as I started to research this, there are mail order grooms. It's far less frequent, far less common, but the price of these transactions they range from $2,000 on the low end to $10,000 on the high end. And so I don't know exactly how much, if there are laws that regulate how much fees an agency can get and what is actually kind of in escrow. I don't have all of that factoids, but it can be expensive. It can be quite an investment. I'll say that. And so I want to hear from you. What if your dad or mom, who wants companionship, still young, thinking, strong libido, virility, and all of that, and wants to have companionship and has decided, let me try my hand at foreign dating. What do you say? All right. Christina jumped in. She says, I would support him 100% because this is his choice. And if I decided to do mail order groom, I would like my dad to support me. It's different, but it's a chance he can be happy and she as well with him. Okay. I love it. I love it. So support him 100%. And Christine, I want to ask you and ask others that may be joining us, and I hope you will click share as well. I'm wondering if you've had experience with online dating, whether or not you have had any concerns or trepidations about some of the people that you have met, and would you have those same concerns for your dad? Bless his memory. I know your dad was happily married and is sleeping in the arms of Jesus. But if he were single, right, you're kind of hypothesizing here, would you have concerns about that there might be scammers and, would you have concerns about him dating someone across overseas? I want to hear from Christina and I want to hear from you. What do you think about this concept of mail order bride? We entitled this, You've Got Mail. And I want to know, if your dad had mail, would you be like, that mail's not for you? If your mom had mail, would you be like, you don't have mail, ma'am? I need you to sit down. What would be your thoughts about using or someone, your parent, using a mail order bride system or mail order groom system? Robert Cotton has joined us. Thank you, Robert Cotton, for joining us. Lori Westby has joined us. Thank you both. I hope you will click share and tag someone to join us in the discussion. You've got mail, Lori. I want to ask you this. You've got mail, Robert, especially Lori, because Lori, your dad is widowed as well. What would you think, Lori, if he had got online and started to date some foreign women and you found out it was a mail order type agency? How would you feel about that? And what would you have to say, if anything? Christina says, she said, more power to him, 100% support him. What would you do? Christina says, I've experienced online dating and it is a different world. You must be safe, like catfishing, distance dating, and meeting the individual. Also, getting married is a different twist from just online dating. I agree. 3 words, Mason and Taff. Online dating can be difficult and catfish is prevalent, but if it all checks out, go for it. All right. And good evening, Valencia, Mama V. Thank you so much. I hope all of you that are joining will click share and tag someone to join us in this discussion on mail order bride, right? And so the mail order bride, slightly different because there's an investment, and I haven't broken down the fees. I didn't do as good a job of breaking the fees down. But there are international marriage agencies. I think maybe I need to get an international marriage agency now that I'm thinking about it. But there are agencies out there, and they partner with some of the online dating platforms that you may be familiar with. And when someone wants a foreign wife or husband, because they're mail order groom services, for marriage, so the fiance visa and all of that stuff and whatever fees, and again, I don't know if there's a part held in escrow, I'm not so sure, but it can range from $2,000, my research says, to $10,000, which I thought that's a significant investment. And so is it the same as an online, just meeting somebody overseas, or is that a little bit different? Drop the link for the agencies and mail order grooms. I said I wasn't going to do that because Facebook is not going to shadow ban me. They have their own dating service, and they already shadow ban me. And love and stuff ain't really just, ever since 36 Questions That Lead to Love, Facebook has been trying to give me a hard time. I hope they're listening. I'm not competing with Facebook. So let me first say I'm not an authorized provider of any of international marriage agencies, but I'm thinking about it now that I'm thinking about it. And I would feel less than comfortable espousing one without fully knowing what you're getting into, without fully knowing, telling people, hey, you should try this. But it's piqued my interest. And one of the reasons why, well, you see how handsome I am. You see how handsome I am. one of the reasons why I'm intrigued by it, because Love and Stuff is a place of love. And when people type in love and stuff, I think they find interesting things. And sometimes they find our community. And sometimes they inbox me at all different kinds of days and nights. And some of those conversations around some of the women that are overseas are very interesting to me. Many of them are seeking a better life, trying to come to America, asking if there are any men that I could connect them to, including myself. And they send pictures of various kinds. And it's an interesting journey. And I'm almost said, well, maybe I should come up with my own. Maybe I should. And so, and Leonard Forrest has joined us. Click, share, and tag someone to join us in the discussion. But I think online dating might be a little different, but it's the same concept, right? Except this international marriage agency specializes in pair or agencies, because there are a number of them, specializes in pairing mail order brides with suitors or mail order grooms with suitors. Okay. And there's normally some exchange of monies for the service. And I think for the visa, and I'm not exactly sure what all is covered in the service. But I'm wondering if your dad, now we're talking about someone who is, again, virile, strong, in his right mind. He's not someone who is, just getting old, and not that old is a bad thing. It's a thing I hope we all get to. He is not someone that is diminishing in mental capacity or cognitive ability, none of that. Quick, alert, all of that. And he says, I want to try maybe a mail order bride. How would you feel if your dad said, or your mom said, I'm going to do a mail order groom? I'm about to get my groove back. How would you feel? There are plenty of women that are not online that would love to get married ASAP, but mail order means more than just married, citizenship, better life, and possibly love. Yes. And that's what I'm learning, Christina. I of course, have heard of mail order bride, but recently I'm learning more about it. And it made me go back in the inbox to try to dig this up, because there are a lot of people, and on the periphery, some of them of Love and Stuff. As you know, we have a contingent, thanks to Christina, we have a contingent of men, especially, but women around the world, right, who are seeking a better life and the possibility of citizenship in America. And there are men and women in America who want companionship. Now, I'm not so sure that they've combed these United States and came up short. I know some people feel like they're coming up short, but I believe with my idealistic self that in these states of America, that there are love opportunities. But I don't think, I think the pandemic has told us global is a possibility. It never was before. It probably always was, but I think the pandemic is showing us global is a possibility. But I don't know that everybody is combed, I'm gonna use that word, these United States for the kind of love that they have always wanted. Yeah, that's what I say, Valencia. I did, Christina was featured in during the 36 questions that lead to love on my Instagram, and I had 36,000 people that clicked on her picture, and maybe 1,000 clicked on mine. But it was 36,000, and I'm telling you, probably 90% of those men were overseas, and they were like single, married, whatever language they could get together. Christina put the Love and Stuff on the map on Instagram. I'm still trying to keep up with Instagram, but it's so many platforms. I got to have a social media manager. But Christina put us on the map on 36 questions that lead to love, because all those brothers saw 36 questions that lead to love, and they saw Christina's picture, and they said, I'm in. Okay. And so I will imagine there are men that want a better life. And there are women that want a better life. And the first thing that comes to my mind in that is, what a life some of us have, and we don't recognize that even though we're in a world that might be the country that might be the most racist on earth, we still are experiencing in part a better existence than some people who would come to America and come by any means, including developing a relationship. Maybe they aren't looking for love, but they're looking for a better life and hoping for love as a byproduct. So you and I, with our love consideration of where we are, I think maybe not complacent, but we can be content in the moment to know that we're in a decent place where there might be love already. All right, that's an aside. But centrally, because from what I am reading, online dating, of course, because people were in the pandemic, it was going to increase, right? But online dating for those that are 55 years and older has grown steadily over 12% the last 6 years. Each year, at least 12%, which says that we have a contingent of people that are saying, I'm not ready to retire in the traditional sense and just live my life out. I want companionship. I want love. I want sex. I want intimacy. I want connection. I want all of these things. And I'm willing to get online, even though I'm not a generation that was born with a smartphone in my hand. I'm willing to learn the tools of the trade, if you will, so that I can find the love, even if it carries me overseas. And I'm wondering, how do you feel about that if it were your parent? In this case, in the inbox of this parent, has been married twice. Unfortunately, both wives passed away. And so that's a whole nother consideration, I think. But he wants companionship. He wants sex. He wants relationship. He wants connection. He wants all of those things. And he decided, why not try this international marriage agency through the dating online? And thank you, Gidget Arcand, for joining us. Please click share and tag someone to join us in this wonderful inbox topic that we're discussing. Christina says, if your mom or dad is able to make the best decisions for their future, I say go for it. But as the daughter, I would want to be more involved because of my protective mode. But God knows what we need. I would say be involved in the process with your mom or dad to help your mind be at ease. I think that's great advice, Christina, because I was just thinking, I can't, first of all, fathom Princess Irene Holmes, bless her memory, telling me, I'm online. I can't imagine it. I tried to imagine it in preparation for the show, and I just put it out of my mind. But I'm trying to put myself in that position. I almost can imagine my dad doing it, but he'd get frustrated with being online. So that wouldn't work so well for him. And the funny of it, Christine, this Autumn says, you may not, sir, absolutely not. Now, I don't have an interest in necessarily a foreign girl or woman marriage. I'm not interested in a mail order bride. I would have concerns, as I do in the inbox. I'll be honest. People see this handsome guy and they say, you the love activist, where your love? I'm gonna be your love. Here's a picture of me, love. Here's my birthday picture. And I have trepidation just being what I think, 51 and savvy. And so I would have concern about a 60-year-old, 70-year-old in general getting out there into these dating streets. I would probably be soothed, if that's a good word to use, by knowing how well he, or if it were my mom, she could navigate these dating streets. And I, like you, would probably be protective. How do you think Autumn would feel? She already posted on. She already posted. Autumn posted earlier when the invite went out. She says, "Sir, you may not." So she's absolutely would not be at ease, but she's kind of a little skeptical. I was writing that before you said, she is in protective mode. Yes. And so, yes, Christina, everything you say at times 10. That's what I'm saying. No, seriously. It's hello, Sonia Cherise. You got to jump in on this conversation. It is absolutely a gift from God that he put Princess and Herbert Holmes together. Princess was smart and savvy, and she scheduled them. They were working at the same hospital. She scheduled their schedules together because she had some pull in the schedule to make sure she was assertive and strategize so that my dad would have to work the same shifts. And voila, as Oprah would say, voila, on a Canadian family vacation, and they never went on vacation again after that. Here comes a oop baby, and I am blessed with the genes that I have. Such as I have, I thank God for. Somebody thinks that that's okay enough to come in the inbox and say, I am from whatever country, and I'm looking to get to America. And after I talk to them, I find out that they're really trying to get to America through me. And so I thought that was interesting in the inbox. And yes, Valencia, birthday suit. I've had some birthday pictures in the inbox, and I think on one show I said shoot your shot. Some people are shooting from the half court with some of these pictures, and the reason that I don't have an offense about it. Of course, I'm fascinated with people. And of course, I'm going to look at the picture, but I'm fascinated with people. But what I think is interesting is what I take for granted being in America, though, I tout that it's the most racist country on earth. But what I take for granted, people are coveting. And they're willing to show whatever to entice you. So that might have been an aside. But come on, jeans. Come on, jeans. I have to thank God for the Coleman side, even though I didn't get all of the Coleman hair. I saw one of my cousins who has Coleman hair, a grown man with full, thick hair like his dad, Uncle Roger, bless his memory. And the Holmes and Coleman smile and skin and all of that, right? You got it too. You got some good genes, all of you. Give me some likes and loves. Come on, build yourself up. You got some good genes. You got some good genes, and God said work those genes. I'm just curious though, because, and I know Valencia's in this 55 above group. There you go. Put them loves in there. That's right. You got good genes. Come on, Lena Brown. Put some in there. You got some good genes. Come on, Christina. Come on, Sonia. Good genes. I'm interested to know, do you see online dating? Because online dating, as I understand it, I don't maintain online platforms for dating. I do not. I am still kind of old school. I believe that your best shot, though people have, Valencia said it, Taff and right here in Love and Stuff, Taff and Sue Cleveland, the Clevelands are an example of online dating. I think one of your best shots is the supermarket, is the gas station. Not as much the gas station, is the supermarket, is the mechanic shop, ladies, is the nail salon, fellas. Go and get your manicure, brother. It's masculine. Go and get your pedicure. Is the mall. Is the Boston Market. All of these normal places where you get to see people being their normal selves, I think is very important. Online, there is a pressure, I think, to be your best self and to be the representative. And in person, you might not go to that length when someone is seeing you and you're going to pick up that extra ingredient that you forgot. Okay. And even online, even me, someone was just saying the other day, boy, it's always love. It's always gratefulness. My life is not always filled with happy times, but I'm committed to present the happy times in the hopes that it encourages you, because I believe the world is filled with enough sad times and bad times. So even I bring a representative, right? In some degree, because I want you to see the goodness, the gratefulness, the love, because I think everybody else is already showing you everything else, right? Even though I experience loss, right? If you read the book, you'll understand that. I've experienced betrayal. I've experienced a host of things, right? But when I'm presenting my best, or trying to, right? Same for you. But if you're going to the grocery store, think about it. Most people don't wear a mink to the grocery store. Alexis Colbin, Carrington Colby from Dynasty probably did if she went, right? Most ladies might not have a full face of makeup, right? If you're going to the mechanic shop, uh, you go in there, ladies, you might just have on your I don't even know what you call the stretch pants these days. You might have those on, right? And there's some brothers in there just taking their car to get it serviced, right? And you want some of them that can afford to have their car serviced, and some of them maybe that don't have the time to do it themselves or haven't learned. Some haven't. That's not them, right? Sporting events. You're right, Christina. Places where you're going to be yourself. So my concern with the online dating, especially for a group that is, I'm going to characterize it as newer to online dating, to the online streets, I'd have a little more concern about them with the international dating. You might go through an agency who does some vetting, but they're kind of vetting for the purpose of you to marry this person. Some are for correspondence, but I think their big ticket item, if you will, is that it ends up in marriage. And the statistics I thought were interesting that, uh, again, it's about 40%, right around. They stayed together for several decades, and it's 40%. So it's running close to a lower tier of the divorce rate traditionally. So it's not that it isn't working. I would just wonder if people have the tendency to present more of a representative when they're doing online dating. Do you put your best picture up there? Not that one in your phone when you're just going, because I got some pictures that cousin just posted on Facebook. I was like, I wasn't ready for the flash. So you put your best picture out there. You put your best foot forward, and that's good. But really, the best is for someone to see you where you are, where you live, where you are in your authentic self, how you are most of the time. That's the person that's in Boston Market. That's the person that's in the grocery store, dropping your car off to the mechanic. That's the person at the sporting events, though ladies sometimes do zhuzh it up a little bit going to a sporting event, but just who you are regularly. And so I want to hear from you just on this part of this, because of course the daughter is concerned. She's like me and Christina and probably Autumn. We're in protection mode. We want to protect. I'm protecting Valencia. I don't want Valencia to be, showing me a picture of an African dude talking about, yeah, he's a mail order groom. I'm ordering him. I'm going to be in protection mode. And so I want to hear from you. What are the things that you would tell your mom, your dad, your TT, your gram T, whomever is this person that is an elder in your family and navigating these dating streets, if you will, about what you consider might be potential challenges for them? Distance causes people to get to know people without the sexual side getting in the way. Yes, that's true. Of course, with video chat, it's all kind of, yeah, that's true. Yeah. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm just saying, I don't expect for you to order a mail order groom, but I'm saying if you were like, I didn't know that X app was connected to an international marriage agency. They sent me a list about, hey, you want to get married? And I'm like, yeah, I want to get married. And they said, okay, well, fill out this psychological profile, which the daughter told me her dad did. They did a psychological test, and then they do this preference test. And they have an algorithm like most other ones do. And they say, here are the people that want correspondence. Here are the people that want to date on long distance. Here are the people that are looking to get married and be a mail order bride, want to relocate. And here are the costs maybe associated with that. What's your pleasure? Okay, today you want to just, spend some time in these streets getting to know people, okay? But they keep, based on your test and your profile, sending you people who may want to get married because that's their bigger ticket item. So what are some of the things you might say, we better work on this? Online dating, Christina says, takes patience. You still should talk to the person and try to learn about each other. Either way, you should be yourself. Don't be desperate. Be smart and ask yourself, why are you trying this type of dating versus meeting people offline? Yep. I think that's great. And I do believe, Christina, that a lot of people, I think I said it earlier, maybe not very eloquently, but a lot of people have limited their options within these United States. Some of because of these preferences. And I invite people to just be a little open to the possibility that while it's true somebody could be for you in Dubai or in Timbuktu or in China, in Singapore, which is forgive the terminology, a hot spot for mail order brides. While that could be, there might be somebody right in Idaho or Michigan or Lufkin, or Los Angeles or Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. I'm just, calling out names that you haven't opened yourself up to. And again, if this pandemic hasn't taught us anything else, it's taught us that we could be in France in a Zoom in a moment, right? We can be connected to the people in France, connected to the people in Australia. I can tell you the number of people that I've been blessed to meet, both through Love and Stuff and other opportunities. And I feel like I was in France with one of them. I feel like I was in Australia. And we've connected at times that our not zip codes, our time zones meet. And we've had deep, good conversations and connections. But when I'm thinking about love, I'm wondering, am I overlooking the possibility that love could be right at home? I mean, love can be where you find it, but where you're looking may be a reason, like Christina's saying, something that you want to delve into. You might want to figure out, is there a reason why I'm delving into it this way? It might not be desperation. There are some people, I know of a gentleman who's been married 5 times. He is still married, thankfully. And because he didn't want to be alone, he wanted to have that companionship. Now, some would say you need to be alone to find out who you are. Get some alone time to find out who you are. But there are people who yearn, who don't feel fully complete without that companionship. It's something that is just wired for them, right? They want to be in relationship. They want to be connected to a person that is more intimate than anyone else in connection with them, right? And those are the people, especially if they're in this 55 and over group, that I think have to be careful, because you're going to meet people that want the connection as deeply as much as you want it, but for very different reasons. And so sometimes when we're operating from different reasons, we operate from different positions with different vantage points and goals in mind. And so that goal congruency is important when your desire for companionship is for a different reason or means something different than someone else who's seeking peace or stability or some of the things you heard Christina say early on, or a better life. And so, especially for people that are new to the dating scene, especially the online dating streets, I'm calling them, or someone that is what I will consider fresh out of a relationship, be it divorce, which I think is a type of grief, or be it that your significant other or spouse passed away, that you might be more open and more vulnerable. And I go back to this concept of your limbic resonance, that there's this energy in your limbic system that gets emitted based on the emotions that are centered in you and the emotions that are moving through you, right? And you send that energy out into the world. And when you give voice to that energy, it brings back to you what you've asked. And so if you send out energy that resembles someone that is vulnerable, needy, and desperate, you might not be necessarily, but at that energy that you're emitting goes out, and your verbiage aligns with that, that's what's going to be served back to you. So I would say to the dad and or the mom that let's make sure we're doing this for the right reasons. And sometimes it's not easy to tell your grown mom and dad that. Sometimes having the adult conversations aren't always easy, but you find a way to do it with diplomacy and tact and grace and humility and respect, to say, oh, dad, this is a beautiful Chinese girl. Oh, woman, she's beautiful. You should bring her here and love her. But I'm wondering, is it something about the essence of her? Can you describe what it is about this woman that you maybe have video chatted that would be different than some woman that's here? Is it that she's Chinese that is something that you've always wanted, someone that you were intrigued by that? Or what is the essence of this person that's got you so open? And are you open for the same reasons? And maybe that's a conversation you can navigate with a parent safely, to just get them thinking around, I know why I want you, but do I know why you want me? See, it's a question that I think everybody should be asking in their relationships, whether they are, as I talked, I think last week about these 3 C's. You see, I believe in networking, and I believe we're all networking to build our net worth, whether or not we are strategically doing it or haphazardly doing it. We want to increase ourselves in some area. And that starts with conversations. Starts with conversations. Hi, how are you? I'm good. What you doing? Where you been? Who you been with? How about those lions? Tigers and bears, oh my. Beans, greens, tomatoes, potatoes. You name it, right? It moves from these conversations, you see, to connections. Because from conversations, you find out whether or not you can connect with this person and feel settled, feel at ease, and whether or not there are things in common that you all connect on. And as you deepen and move through those connections, you get to find out the next thing, which I think is convictions. You get to find out who this person is, what he or she believes, and what he or she practices, and what's the difference between those two. That's the conviction part. So you move from conversations to connections to convictions. And there is no, I'm going from conversations to convictions, because I'm going to say rarely will anybody show you who they are, intentionally show you who they are, without connecting to you. There has to be some vulnerability. There has to be some psychological or emotional safety. Very few people. Now, people are showing you who they are, but not intentionally necessarily. Most people are keeping some reserve about letting you in, right? Connections is where you start to come in. Convictions is where you start to see what this person is about. Who is this individual, right? And so, thinking about that in the context of this online dating international marriage, mail order bride. Now, there have been arranged marriages where people didn't know each other and they lasted or made them last, right? But really, you want to have the space in a relationship to go through that process. And so, one of the great things that you would ask of your dad or maybe your mom is, what are the conversations like? What are the things you all are connecting on? And how do you know this person is really who they are? Because in the connections, you're going to find out, I know what I want with you. Do I know what you want with me? And you validate that. You validate that through the convictions. And I'd say ask that in every relationship, even if it isn't an online dating, right? Even if it isn't a mail order bride or groom. Ask yourself, what do I want with this person? And be honest, because a lot of times we aren't. We won't give ourselves permission to be honest. And I believe the quintessential love, God, has graced you to be honest with him. And nothing that you could say to him will surprise him or catch him by surprise. But you got to give yourself permission to be honest about what you want in another person. And then you have to ask the hard question. Now, what does that person want from me? Or does that person want the same thing from me? Because I believe that your limbic resonance is telling people what you want from them, and they're responding with what they can get out of what you want from them, not always with what they want from you. But there's a part of them that's speaking what they want from you. It's not in response to you. Most will take from you what you offer, even if it's not really what they set out to get, if that makes any sense. So some actions are in response to what you put in the atmosphere, but it doesn't negate that individuals have their own thought about what they want. And you have to be about the business of creating a space to understand and know it. So it's questions that you're asking yourself and others. And it's something that I think if you are the child of this parent, that you would ask. Okay, what do you want with this mail order bride? The specific one. Are you in love with the idea of being with somebody again? Or is this specific person, what do you want with this person? And do you know what this person wants with you? Have you asked? Can you validate it by who they are? This, I believe, holds true for all kinds of relationships. What we do, again, I'm back to it. It's giving yourself the permission to ask, because we get squeamish, I think I want to say, when it comes to relationships and asking not only what we want, but asking the other person to validate for us if they understand that, and then to provide to us what they want from us, and having the courage to hear it. Because not every time is someone wanting the same thing from you that you want from them. But building connection is about being able to connect on a deeper level. And then you validate that. I'm doing this as the bottom rung by the convictions. Has who the person told me they are aligned with who they practice they are, right? Someone tells me that they're a Christian, but nothing aligns with that. Well, then that's not who they are, right? Maybe it's who they want to become. Maybe they're in a struggle to become it, that overcoming in holiness. But who you are should align with what you practice, right? And when people show you that, you got to believe them, right? And so as you're connecting deeper, just like I would this dad, I would say to you, online dating or not, give yourself permission first to ask yourself, what do I want in this individual that I have happened upon? Some people say happenstance, right? If you believe in happenstance. I meet somebody and I need to ask myself, what do I want? Now, it can be uncomfortable if you don't do that because we are reared and conditioned in so much judgment about what we want. It takes some time to grow into the independence of self to say, I want sex. Now I know there's a whole theology around when you should want sex, how you should want sex, with who you should want sex, all of that. Got it. But you got to be real with yourself if you meet somebody you say, I want sex only. Because that person might not want sex, or that person might not want sex only. Or I want companionship and I want it to be non-sexual for a long time until we deepen the connection. What do you want? And you must give people the permission, though they should already have it. You must say, I really want to know what you really want. No judgment. I just want this to be an open book. I want companionship, non-sexual. What do you want from me? I just want somebody to call me and say good morning. That good morning text is gold to me. I just want that good morning. I just want somebody to call me and hold the phone and fall asleep like we were when we were teenagers. What do you want? I want somebody that's going to be ready to move in with me in 3 months and swing from the chandeliers. What do you want? I want someone who's not going to date for a year and then say we'll be engaged another year. I want someone who, if they see that I'm the one, we'll be walking down the aisle in 14 months. What do you want? I'm giving you permission to tell me because I'm an open book and I want you to be an open book with me and I can handle whatever you're going to tell me. What I can't handle is you not telling me what you really want. Because if we get down the road and you really wanted something else, I will feel that you've betrayed this relationship. I need to know what you really want. No holds barred. I want you. I can almost not breathe wanting you. But I need to know what you want from me. See, it takes you giving yourself permission to do that because most of us don't. We want that person. We want to be with that person, but we will not say to ourselves first and then to that person what we want. And while it's true, your limbic resonance is speaking what you want. Sometimes people are either unaware, unawake, or dodging it. And you should give them permission, if they're any of those three, to clear the air. So in our inbox, I think it's wonderful that this daughter, I would be her brother, because I would be concerned about my dad, bless his memory. Of course, I don't see him doing online, but I'm trying to hypothesize. I would be concerned about him with a mail order bride from China. I'd be concerned with him on these online dating streets. What I would not be concerned with him and I think I got it honest with, is telling you exactly what he wants. But I know we live in a world, and we've been inside of a world in the last 18 months where we lived in a camera, on a lens, trying our best to present our best selves, our best representatives. And whether it's a mail order bride, or a bride around the corner, or a boo or bae down the street, you must give yourself permission through conversations to say what you really want and to hear what the other person really wants, to move from conversations to connections, to see if you're connecting on a deeper level and see if you can reconcile those connections with the convictions that you both possess. That is a road to a successful relationship. There will be other aspects for which you will have to put in work, absolutely. But if you can develop in the beginning an emotional and psychological safety where you are always an open book as it relates to how well you are connecting and how well your convictions align with each other's practices, you're on a golden road of a wonderful experience. I challenge you that even if you're not in the 55 plus age group that's growing online, if you are looking for love and you are meeting people, that you stand up and say, here is what I want with you. What do you want with me? And then listen. Listen with your limbic resonance, which we'll have to talk more about. Not just the body language that people are giving you while they're talking to you or while they're responding to you. Feel in your cell membranes how you, that feeling that you feel when you're talking to somebody and something's not right. Investigate that. Or when something sits at what is peace, I think the opposite of dis-ease is peace, equilibrium. When you're talking to someone and you feel at home and you feel equilibrium and you feel comfortable, investigate that, because your limbic system is, your cells are taking in emotion and energy, and they're saying, this feels good or this doesn't feel, they're telling you something. And listen to what your body is telling you while you're speaking to somebody and while you're listening to them speak to you. Watch their body language. Watch the closed palms and the folded arms. Watch the darting eyes. Watch the swelling nostrils. All of those are signs that something else is going on than what they're telling you, unless that's part of their baseline, which you kind of find out people's baseline when you spend time with them. But when someone's talking to you and all of a sudden their nose starts to flare, investigate it. Watch how often that happens and at what points in the conversation. All of this helps you to understand whether somebody's willing to be open with you or whether somebody is just in these online dating streets. I want to thank you. It's 9:34. It's been a great evening. I hope you will share this widely. I know that we're up against some great own shows, and one day we want to have our own love network, and we are working on just that. This Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Kamal and Felix's Sport Talk Show will be live. You don't want to miss it. They are having a fantastic time. They do it every other Saturday. And very soon, two new offerings are going to join us, both Men's Space and Love and the Scriptures. We're excited for everything that's happening in Love and Stuff. And don't you want to get on the inside of it? You should go to the Love and Stuff page under groups, click on Inside of Love and Stuff. This is the place where you get to meet people like Christina Smith, the famous Christina Smith, Mama V, Valencia Etner, and others, so that you can see who's in this community and begin to connect in conversations. One of the great things I want to say tonight is that if you're practicing the 3 C's, maybe you are, if you're watching me on other platforms, practice your conversations and the questions that you ask people. Practice connecting to people. Practice understanding their convictions. Love and Stuff community is a great place to practice that, to get to know people and to see whether or not you're connecting. And it's okay. You will meet some people that you won't connect with deeply, and that's okay. Because what you will never know, maybe, is the person that you're connecting to could be a connector to somebody else. I always use this example. Have you ever gone in the grocery store and seen somebody behind the counter, but you never really gave eye contact and never talked to that person? Go back and talk to that person. And you may find out that person says, oh, he's a cool brother. My sister at home, I'm going to introduce him to my sister. You never know that somebody is meant to be just a connection for you to be connected to someone else. So follow us on the Love and Stuff page. I'm so grateful that you've stopped through, whether you're on the Love and Stuff page here from which we emanate tonight, the Marcus R. Holmes page, Twitch TV, YouTube events. Thank you all. Share widely. Have a grateful evening, and we will see you soon.